and making it here to the Coliseum here in Lewiston for NEF 27.
So we now have 17 more bouts to go, 11 on the amateur ranks, and we do have those 6 pro fights coming your way later on. And next up to the cage will be Ross Denaire and Phil Chasen. And a battle with just 1 fight between these two. So 2 relative newcomers to the amateur ranks and to mixed martial arts, but that doesn't mean anything because these 2 young men could certainly delight here in just a couple of moments.
Yeah, well, as we just continue to see, I mean, we talk about it all the time, mixed martial arts just continues to evolve. There's more and more guys that want to go out there and compete, and you're just going to see more and more guys that will be 0-0 as they step into the cage. So we'll find out more about them with all of our listeners and viewers that are out there watching along on Flow Combat.
This one's scheduled to be fought at 155, and we see first Denaire coming out to the cage, as he is 0-1 in his career. He lost a 3rd round split decision at Cage Titans 31 back in November 5th to Trevor Good. We see Chasen here as he rushes down there. No rest for the weary. He comes out to some Volbeat as well, and he's just ready to go and raring to make his MMA debut here today, fighting out of the Academy. And what can you say about the Academy, Ryan, in terms of what they've been able to do for producing fighters?
Oh, well, I mean, they've been around for a long time now. You know, they've literally been one of the premier gyms in all of Maine. So the Academy is no stranger to the NEF cage, and I'm sure this young man will be very well prepared to step in here and put on a show for the NEF fans.
And Denaire fighting out of Nostos. We know that quite well.
We do.
Something about that. We'll talk about that here in just a moment after we get the introductions.
And takes place in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner to my left. Tonight, he makes his New England Fights debut. Ladies and gentlemen, Phil Chasen. And his opponent standing directly across the cage, fighting out of the blue corner to my right. Tonight, entering the cage for the 2nd time, ladies and gentlemen, Ross Denaire. 3 rounds, lightweight division.
So another 3-round bout here between these 2 combatants, as Denaire will be in the all black and Chasen will be in the black with the red trim. So be sure to keep your eye on the red, though I'm noticing here red on both fighters as well, as this is an aggressive start to this contest as well. And we were talking a little bit about it, fighting out of New Hampshire's Denaire, and he fights out at Nostos, who features the gym owner of one, Devin Powell, who I saw walking around after making his UFC debut back in January.
Yeah, and anybody that follows Maine MMA and NEF knows who Devin Powell is. He's now in the UFC, and Denaire really comes out strong here, and he's got Chasen to the ground and is looking to do some damage and get this fight over with in his debut.
Now, I know just 1 fight between these 2 fighters here today, but do you take anything with the experience of just having 1 bout under your belt here, Ryan?
No, because you get all your training right in the gym. You know, those are where you get your fights, day in and day out, is when you're preparing for these oh, and what a slam! Oh my goodness! Denaire just slammed Chasen and is now on top, looking to pass guard and get into a full mount maybe. Chasen's doing a good job of controlling that left leg, and now he's throwing down some punches here from the top.
I was going to say, that was almost like a suplex you'd see in the professional wrestling ranks, though, as he rains down the blows on that top control.
And look at this. He's going for an arm bar here.
Does he have it locked in? It looks like right now Denaire's defending it enough. As Chasen raining down some blows, trying to break that. But what a turn of events. Both fighters look wise beyond their years.
That's why they call it mixed martial arts. So you got to be able to be trained in every discipline. Denaire looked great. He got this fight to the ground and was landing some heavy punches from the top. But Chasen did a good job and almost got a submission there. Denaire is out back on top again, and they're both taking a breath because they've expended a lot of energy and a furious start to this first round.
We have almost had 2 minutes in the books here in round number 1, but what a fast and furious fight here for these 2 combatants. Denaire continuing to rain some blows down from the side. Still has a little bit of control, but both fighters now get to their feet, and we might see some punches traded here before the takedown attempt and completion there by Denaire.
looks like Chason is very skilled on the ground, as his jiu-jitsu looks to be really good, as he's got Dinar wrapped up right now in a tough spot. I'd be surprised if he can get out of here in this last 30 seconds of this first round.
Not seeing too much movement either side. I wonder if the official might stand these combatants up here in a moment or two if no one's trying to progress anything with under 30 seconds left to go in the first.
Yeah, you got to feel for these guys. I mean, they expended so much energy in the beginning of this round. I'm sure they're exhausted right now. Just can't wait. Get me out of this first round. Give me a little water and let me get back in there.
The waning seconds here as we have 10 left to go before we do get that break. But both sides, both combatants, having very good glimpses of brilliance here in this round number one. As Journey rains down, what are your initial thoughts on this battle between Chason and Dinar?
My initial thoughts are both of these guys look to be very skilled. They're early on in their amateur careers, but as you see, Devin Powell is giving some water to Dinar there in the corner. Dinar looks like a beast. I mean, he came out, he's got some great wrestling, he's clearly in great shape, and you know, I think that we're going to see this kid here in the NEF for some time to come.
It's always good to see Devin Powell, too. His last fight in the NEF was back in August for NEF looking for a fight, which impressed Dana White, the head man of the UFC, so much that he signed him on the spot, then had his debut on his show looking for a fight here, which was released just after the new year. And he was pretty impressive, though, in a loss last time out in his debut for the top promotion. But just shows you that these NEF fighters, whether they're amateurs or they're pros, can make it to the highest of highs coming from this Lewiston, Maine venue.
Yeah, and clearly Maine is a hotbed for mixed martial arts. It's anybody that, if you're watching now, you know that. I mean, there's a lot of gyms popping up all over the place. A lot of guys really want to give this shot a go, as Dinar again gets Chason down to the ground and flips him around, and now he's landing punches again on the top of the head. Very impressed by Dinar. Yeah,
he went for the shoot takedown, and he did sort of get that one a little glancing, but he now has that control as he has the white on his trunks, the only real differential between the sides that you can see there. As Chason wearing the black with the red trim. That's an awkward little control there as they try to, again, work on the side.
Sometimes the guy who gets the victory is the one who gets the better of the other in that scramble right there. And as you can see, Dinar is again on top. But Chason's doing a really good job of staving off a lot of these attempts to really finish this fight, as Dinar lands a left hook there and again comes across wildly with the right shot, didn't connect. And the guy, and again, down to the ground. I think that's his game plan. I think he really wants to smother him and use his strength and keep him up against the cage, maybe just rain down some ground and pound, maybe finish this fight, as he's looking to do that maybe here in the second round.
Devin Powell's protege here trying to maybe implement some of the game plan of the gym leader there. So he seems pretty proficient and pretty comfortable on the ground here, trying to work in the submissions and also doing some damage on the ground, raining some blows down. He's just positioning the head and doing some damage as well, continuing that control on the side.
Chason's in a bad spot right now. If Dinar continues to advance on this position, he might be able to get a rear naked choke, or he could continue to do what he's doing as he is right now, is landing down these punches from the top. And if they go unanswered, the ref could stop this fight.
I was about to say, it looked like Dinar had an opportunity to maybe try to hook the chin and see if he could go for that choke, but instead elects just to continue to rain blows down, left and rights alternating. Good movement there from Chason, trying to get out from under this grip, but still battling and still being controlled by Dinar on top.
As Dinar continues to land shots to the side of the head. Now he's advancing. It looked like he almost thought he could get a choke there, but he holds off because I think this kid likes throwing strikes.
Both fighters are back on the feet once more. We did see a nice suplex earlier on in this contest. Let's see if we might get something akin to that here again. But as this fight progresses, I think less and less likely we're going to see the huge athletic moves, just because of how draining this is to try to continue to maintain the control and also to defend the punches for both of these fighters.
For sure. I mean, you can already tell the pace is slowed, as it would with anybody. But they've expended a lot of energy. As you saw in the first fight tonight between Angela Young and Christine Brothwell, as the fight continues to go, the pace will slow.
10 seconds remaining in round number 2. It's been back and forth, though. Right now, I would say Dinar has had the advantage in that second round.
How do you got this scored so far? I think I have it 2-0 Dinar.
I would say so. The first round was extremely tight. I thought both guys did some things very well out there to maybe warrant that first round decision, but that second round I would say definitely in the favor of Denard because he was just the aggressor and controlled most of that fight.
Yeah, he looks to have a solid wrestling base as he's really controlled him on the cage, and he's done a really good job of winning the battles in those scrambles and getting on top control, and I think that's why he's winning this fight in my eyes so far.
Just one fight for Denard. He lost a three-round split decision battle back in November and right back in the cage again here in this February card, making his New England Fights debut. And him and Jason have done a really good job here tonight and showing that they have a bright future in this mixed martial arts realm. But again, we still have another round to go before we find out who is going to be the victor, and who knows, we could get a knockout or submission here as well in this round.
Round 3, here we go.
So far we have seen the third round in each one of the fights here on this card. It's Denard coming out and then again shoots for the takedown and gets Jason down to his bottom once more. Getting right to his feet, now defending another takedown here on the side of the cage.
Jason is very flexible, as you can see, continues to get those legs up there and hopes to, really push Denard's head back to maybe look for a submission or at least scramble to get back up to his feet here.
Blows being rained down here. Again, Denard looking to maintain the momentum he had gained after that first half of the first. Now he's taking the back, raining down blows to the right side of the head of Jason.
Jason did a good job of blocking his shots there, and then they got turned over. Now Ross is in some sort of, it looks to be a little bit of like a side guard.
Jason just defending here. The control is still in the hands of that Nostos product. Denard again landing the blows to the head. The official looking in, making sure that Jason is being responsive as the blows continue to come on that right side from the fist of Denard.
And I think Denard is very comfortable in staying right in this position and continuing to ground and pound here because Jason's really not doing a whole lot to get up and get this fight back to the feet, although you see he's continually looking for submissions.
Yeah, and I notice here that Denard does have his foot caught on the left foot, and maybe there might be some sort of an ankle submission attempt that he can try here, though he loses that. Now he's got something brewing here, Ryan.
He's looking for a heel hook, I think.
And he might have it. Now he's trying to get it underneath his arm, and he does get that in. But it looks like Denard's trying to do something on his own.
I think he's just trying to survive right now. That is sunk in hard, and Jason is cranking on it.
Now, can he last 40 seconds with this excruciating pain coming down, especially so young into his MMA career, Ryan?
Yeah, both of these guys are very young into their career, and I think they both have a lot of promise, as I'm very impressed with both of their games on the feet and on the ground here.
I did notice Denard, while trying to get out of this heel hook, almost seeming like he was trying to wrench the other ankle of his opponent as well, and finally seemingly gets enough leverage to break out of it here, and again goes back to what he's done so well, raining down punches.
And I think this is how the fight is going to end, as Denard is continuing to rain down punches, and I think that was the kind of like the telltale tape of this, the totality of this fight here, is there's just a lot of short groundwork by Denard on top of Jason. He took a lot of short, quick punches to the top of the head, and the accumulation of those, I think, will be the difference here in giving Denard the win.
What a great bout in the second one of a scheduled 18 here for NEF 27 Resurgence from the Coliseum in Lewiston. Quite a battle between these two young MMA fighters. But we'll see how the judges rule. I think our consensus here, at least, is that Denard did enough probably to come out on top, being the aggressor and controlling rounds 2 and 3. Hilton,
the Rasquatch,
making his debut at the heavyweight ranks against Mike the Mustache Hansen, and then the lightweight title contenders of Jesse Erickson taking on John Lemke in a rematch from their Bellator fight all those years ago. And then the Ryan Sanders taking on John Ortolani on the other half of the bracket. And it should be an exciting night of fights here in the pro ranks as well as the amateur ones that just concluded.
Can't wait. 6 more fights to go.
So we see the Danger Mouse, which has, I think he has some of the best artwork out of any of the fighters I've seen today. Not to disparage anyone, but I love the artwork he has, his sleeves being put on there. Yeah. And he's a pretty prolific fighter looking to get back into the win column after losing last time out.
I could see you with a couple of sleeve
Think
tattoos.
so?
You ever thought about doing that?
Yeah, I wouldn't look nearly as scary as Danger Mouse does, who lost last time out against Walter Smith Cotito in a very good bout back in September, and also lost to Jay Perrin as well after starting his career 2-0 in the pro ranks. And he's going against a guy in Nick Santos, who's returning to the cage after a little bit of a layoff, Ryan. He hasn't fought since October of 2010.
Yeah, we'll see how that affects him. I mean, I'm not quite sure how old Santos is, but that could play a lot into it. I will tell you this, he looks in very, very good shape. So regardless of his age, he looks like he's trained and put himself in a position here to compete against Danger Mouse, because this is a tough fight.
How confident did Leland feel when we talked with him just a couple weeks ago in the lead up to this fight? Because he just seemed like a guy who was ready to get back in the win column and restart his career once more after being 2-2.
Yeah, you know, when we spoke to him, he seemed very confident, he seemed focused, he seemed determined to get back in there and get a win. So we're going to see how he comes out, and the Danger Mouse is looking to pick up another victory here.
This fight is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner to my left. He entered this fight with a record of 2 wins against 2 losses and trains with the Academy of Mixed Martial Arts. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Eli Danger Mouse Leland. And his opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the blue corner to my right. Tonight, he enters the cage for the 5th time as a professional. He trains with Team Fury. A big NEF welcome for Nick Santos. 3 rounds, bantamweight division.
And we head to the pro ranks here at 135. As Nick Santos also looking for his first ever mixed martial arts victory. He lost his 2 amateur bouts and is 0-4 in the pro ranks, but again, a long layoff. We'll see if he comes back better than ever.
They come out swinging. Wow, there was a couple of shots right there. If those connected, that would have been fight over. Right now, Elias has his opponent, Santos, pressed up against the cage.
And Leland, only 1 loss in his amateur career before returning pro, and you know who that was to, Ryan?
Was it Bruce Boyne?
Ray Wood.
Ray Wood.
Ray Wood. So nothing wrong with losing to Ray Wood back when you're an amateur as well. So just shows you the prowess of this young man who's looking to come out with a victory here in the early parts of round 1, and we've now moved to 5-minute rounds here.
I was on the right track. Young's MMA.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking maybe they fought at 45.
Leland right now with side control. Danger Mouse against Santos here. We saw John Santos actually fight an NEF card here recently back in August against the guy you just talked to just a couple moments ago.
Mr. Lacey.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have him back here for this next fight when Josh Howard takes on Richie Collingham. Right now, Elias Leland has Santos up against the cage again. Santos not in a very favorable position. Let's see what Leland looks to do here to capitalize.
But Leland has to be careful because he looked like he would have been almost susceptible to a choke there, but now gaining some control and really just driving the back here of Santos into the cage. I don't know about you, Ryan, but I don't think I'd want my back driven on that chain link right there.
No.
It's not necessarily like a playground fence, but it's still not that forgiving.
And there it is. There's the tap. Elias Leland. Wow. Very, very impressive performance. And he picks up a victory and moves his pro record now to 3-2. And Santos came to fight. He just took on a better man tonight, and Danger Mouse, Elias Leland.
Santos will drop his record to 0-5 in his pro career. And Leland gets back in the win column again. The Academy product again looking strong. Ran into a tough opponent in Walter Smith Cotito last time, but picking up the victory here, and Danger Mouse looks as dangerous as ever, Ryan.
Yeah, you know, I've been really looking